there's a very specific way how most of us learned what a car looks like. Not what a sedan is, not what a chassis does, not even why some cars feel better to drive than others. You just drew it. You had two boxes, one additional box on top, two circles underneath, and that was essentially it. That was the quintessential car that we all grew up with. And in many ways, it still is, except now everything wants to become something else. You have SUVs, you have crossovers, you have coupe SUVs, things that are pretending to be off-roaders but will spend most of their lives in traffic. And somewhere in all of this, the simple three-box sedan that we love has stepped aside. And not because it stopped making sense, but because everything else was screaming very loudly. So we thought, let's go back and just see what a proper sedan can do.
Well, the brief from my boss was simple. Drive across Maharashtra, cover 3 very different destinations, experience as many topographies the state has to offer, but do it in all under 24 hours. Now that's over 1300 kilometers in a single day, and that's why
this is what I have chosen to complete the task. Well, this is what I have picked because it's got the classic 3-box silhouette. It is a sedan and it has a 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol engine with a DSG gearbox, enough ground clearance to conquer everything that Maharashtra has to offer. This is the Volkswagen Virtus GT Plus, and it is the clear enthusiast pick. So let's get in and let's get going, because this is where I'm going to start the timer, and exactly there on the other side is where we're going to end it. So let's get going. We start here in our home city of Mumbai before sunrise, because this is not the Mumbai that you're used to typically, because there is no traffic, there is no noise, there is no urgency, and for a brief period of time you can actually allow yourself to move without having to think 3 steps ahead of everyone else on the road. And in this moment is when you immediately notice how easy the Virtus GT is to drive. The DSG, it does exactly what you want without having to intervene at all. The engine, it is smooth. There is no jerkiness at low speeds, no hesitation when you pick up pace, and everything just feels properly resolved, properly sorted for our Indian road conditions. Because you're not managing the car, you're just driving it along. And in a city like Mumbai, that makes a massive difference. But that phase doesn't last very long. Because once the light comes up, traffic starts building, and you realize that if you don't get out now, you're going to be stuck here for the next 2 hours. So now we head out. And as you leave the city, the roads, they open up, the traffic, it thins out, and you settle into this beautiful rhythm between the car and the road conditions. And this is when you start appreciating the 1.5-litre TSI unit. It starts to show its character. There's a strong mid-range, you don't need to keep pushing it, and you don't need to keep working the gearbox. You just stay in that lovely torque band the car has to offer, and it carries speed effortlessly. The DSG, as always, just gets on with it. It knows when to shift, it knows when to hold, and most importantly, it is doing a better job than what you would be doing yourself. But that reminds me, now we are on the open road and heading to our first destination. It's called Naneghat. Well, beautiful, isn't it? We have reached the Naneghat top just before sunrise to witness the sun rising behind that mountain. And the fun fact is, right there, the moon is still in the air. So it's going to be the sun and the moon, and between is our Virtus GT. now that we have witnessed the beautiful Ghat section of the Naneghat road, we are now going to head to our destination number 2. Alright, so we are now on our way to our second destination after the Naneghat, and this is the Malshej Ghat. This in fact is one of the oldest trade routes that connect the Deccan Plateau and the Konkan coast, and even today you have a lot of vehicles that use it to cross distances. Now I found myself an empty patch of road, so I'm going to put it in sport. In fact, I'm going to actually put it in manual. Here goes down the DSG, and we can have some fun now in the twisties. Woo! Even the brakes, they're very impressive. The chassis, it is for a driver's delight. You can feel the chassis turning through the corners. Not a lot of cars make you feel this way in a Ghat. What a setup. What a driver's delight this car is. Now we have left our Ghat section behind, and now we're on to the Samruddhi Mahamarg, a 700-kilometer express highway from Bombay to Nagpur, covering a lot of districts and connecting a lot of villages. And this is a completely different type of driving. It's a long straight highway. Some sections are beautifully smooth, but it's arrow straight, so it's slightly boring. But the only good factor is that you can do above 100 kilometers an hour because the speed limit is set to 120 kilometers, and we're almost doing that speed. And you can see that the car is completely stable, it is planted, it is composed. The suspension, it absorbs the bad patches without unsettling the car, and you don't get any vertical movement even when we go through expansion joints like this. It is something in which you just sit and you hold your line and you keep going till you reach your destination. A bit boring, but very convenient. Now we're almost nearing our second destination, which means we're going to exit the Samruddhi Mahamarg very soon. And what I have realized is something that's very important, because when you're covering this kind of distance in one stretch, fatigue, it becomes one of the biggest factors of consideration. The Virtus, it manages to keep things comfortable enough that you're not constantly thinking about taking a break, to stretch yourself out, to do this. You just stay in the car, you continue chugging along, and that is that.
You're driving across long stretches of highway. Nothing really changes around you. And then suddenly, you arrive at something that has absolutely nothing to do with the roads, the car, or driving.
Well, apparently that is the Lonar Lake. I never knew it existed. I'm here because my boss told me to come here, and it is located in Maharashtra. Obviously, we're doing this video in Maharashtra, so I'm going to read some cool facts about it. It's apparently a meteor impact crater that was formed 50,000 years ago. It's the world's only natural saline and alkaline crater lake in basalt, and it has some weird pH levels which gives some random organisms home. It was made with a massive comet asteroid impact which had forces comparable to 80 atomic bombs. To me, it looks like a very cool looking lake. Car interests me more, so I'm leaving.
Now after that, let's get back to driving.
Getting here hasn't been easy at all. The roads leading here are very inconsistent. It's broken in places, it's uneven in others, and then when you really start to appreciate is how the car actually deals with it. because the suspension is softer than compared to SUVs because it doesn't have that body roll in the corner. So it is a bit more comfortable. In fact, a lot more comfortable over the broken infrastructure that India has to offer, because it doesn't crash over bumps, it doesn't feel unsettled, and it doesn't throw you around inside the cabin even if you're doing corners in a very enthusiastic manner. It just takes it in stride, and that consistency carries us towards our third destination as we head towards Panchgani.
From here, the road starts climbing again, but this time it's calmer, less demanding, more relaxed. But then, something unexpected.
Well, we started driving up the Panchgani Ghat to see the sunset on the tabletop, and things have taken a very weird turn because the first half of the Ghat was nice, dry, it was quiet, no traffic all around, and now it has suddenly started pouring, which is a bit weird because this is not really the time when it rains around in Maharashtra, but now we have sunlight and rain happening at the same time. So maybe we might just see a rainbow instead of the sunset on the tabletop. Well, we have finally made it to our third destination, the Panchgani tabletops. Now, this is Asia's second longest mountain plateau, and it's made because of laterite volcanic rock of some sorts. I think we should head back because I feel it's going to start drizzling again before the sun sets completely. So back to Bombay. And by the time we return back to Mumbai, it's going to be well past midnight. The city, it's going to be what it always is. It's going to be busy, it's going to be unpredictable, it's going to be constantly moving, there's going to be a lot of traffic. And through all of this, the Virtus, it feels exactly the same. And that is more important than anything else. It stands out. In one day, this sedan has dealt with city traffic, it has dealt with mountain roads, it has dealt with long highways, broken surfaces, and hill station drives as well. Maharashtra has completely different terrains which have completely different demands as well. And at no point did the car feel like it was out of its depth by any chance. And at no point did the car feel like it was, well, out of its depth, because that's the important bit, that it did not excel in one particular area, but it managed all of them without any compromise. And that is the important part. And it answers the question we started with. But for that, I'm going to stop. And we have finally made it back to where we started. Actually, that's exactly where we started. We have ended right here in under 24 hours to answer the question, can a sedan traverse across Maharashtra to see the geographical terrains it has to offer? And the simple answer is yes. The Volkswagen Virtus GT Plus can do it without having a permutation combination of a SUV tag. It can do it while being the quintessential enthusiast sedan in the country. Now, do you agree or disagree? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching BBC Top Gear India magazine. We will see you next time.